And welcome everybody to Memorial Stadium. Cole Weaver up here in the booth as we are about 13 minutes and some change away from kickoff. Nice warm evening here. Both teams getting themselves through their final preparations. Ballard FC currently warming up in their tie-dye Pride training kits. Capital FC have made their way into the locker room. It's a top of the table clash versus the bottom of the table. Ballard FC looking to continue their momentum. Capital FC with a season likely to be forgotten at the end of the year, but still plenty to play for as they're looking to upset some of the efforts that Ballard FC will have during this 2024 title defense season. It's going to be an interesting one. But first we want to take a look at the last home match, which ended in a emphatic Ballard victory. And it all really started with Brummett doing some fantastic work in the box and Kai Briscoe making his way in. Stranger to the penalty area, but made no mistake putting it away and made sure to let the Ballard fans know it's some celebrations and acrobatics. And Brummett maintaining his score streak, gets himself in the box, doing what he does best, and it's a fantastic finish in the end. Ended up getting Ballard back in the game and just continuing their dominance throughout the second half. And FC Olympia really couldn't make their way back into it, and there was a little bit of fortune as Damian Alvarez, as we just saw, made his way to the score sheet with a cheeky toe poke in. And then it all really started to unravel as FC Olympia couldn't quite get on the end of it, and as we see Jackson Buck made his debut as a striker when Ballard was forced to make a center back change for some cramping issues. Jackson made his way on and gave it his best, but you know, goalkeeper to goalkeeper, those are the moments we live for. He was sitting on the sideline for quite some time before he actually ended up making his way to the field, so he might feel a little hard done by and wish he had an additional 5 or so minutes. We've got an interview here as well with head coach James Riley. Done by our own
after a loss on Friday. How does it feel to bounce back?
Great bounce back, honestly. It's a testament to the group, the quality group that we have. You know, they accepted the challenge to get back into the win column. And to be honest, the game on Friday wasn't bad. I think the biggest thing we talked about it was we just didn't have the end product that we wanted as far as being assertive, to get services into the box, create shots, draw fouls, be dangerous on set pieces. For me, that was the only missing link. I thought Friday we dominated in every statistical category, and I think only the game of soccer is, you know, that can happen and you can still lose the game. I think tonight was a complete performance, but it was indicative of the end product that we put in, and then also just being a very difficult team to play against.
The scoreline looks dominant at the end, but they grabbed a goal early. What rotations, what adjustments did you make to make sure you guys came out on top?
Honestly, we didn't make any rotations, and I think that's the kind of what's been the kind of our Achilles heel is I think we're giving up soft goals, and a lot of it sometimes against the run of play. So I think once we can kind of really mitigate that, we'll be a very difficult team to beat. But right now we're still giving up those opportunities, and against good teams that could really hurt you. As you saw, it was difficult for us to bounce back against United PDX when they got the first goal, especially when they sit in a low block. So you know, I'm glad that the guys kept their foot on the gas pedal and obviously put in, 5 unanswered. So I just said, offense wins games, but defense wins championships. So I said, once we, solidify the defensive side of the ball collectively, we'll be that much better of a team.
Someone on the defensive side, goalkeeper Jackson Buck got in the game on the field. Did he impress you today? Could he potentially get more minutes?
It's an interesting one, and again, it was not to create a spectacle. I didn't know, and I'm still learning. I didn't know that this goalkeeper could sub in. I just said we'll just stay in our block, a 4-4-1 block, see the game out, learn how to play down a man, and then I was notified that the keeper could actually be, subbed in, and that we had an extra kit. So we did it for load management, so our guys wouldn't have to, play down a man. And he was very good. He was very good.
All right, thanks, James.
All right, thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
James Riley, such a insightful coach and student of the game, masterful tactician, and he clearly prepares his players very well. very intrigued to see the lineups for today, as we'll go through those here in a moment. But I've had the opportunity to speak with James Riley a couple times after some of these matches, and he's always so quick to praise the players and the effort that they put out there. And obviously that's control what you can control, and he does a very good job of preparing them. Ballard FC are continuing their title defense and maintain their standing at the top of the Northwest Division. Highest average goals per game in the league with 3.5, and the last time they faced Capital was earlier in June. They ended up winning 8-1. So if we see a repeat of that performance tonight, I'd say most Ballard faithful will be very happy and pleased with the performance. On the other side of the table lies Capital FC, a team that's facing a little bit more struggles than they'd like to so far this year, currently sitting in 8th in the Northwest Division and conceding 3.25 goals per game, which is the highest goals conceded average of the league. But definitely a player to watch out for, Francisco Mangana. He is one that is a former Ballard FC player. I know him very well myself, had an opportunity to chat with him before the game. He's always a threat. He's a player that will get inside the box. He will cause problems against center backs, and if you give him an opportunity, he's very likely to put it away. So Leo Burney and Christian Eggman will definitely be keeping on their toes, as they know his game just as well as I do, and that's definitely our player to watch for this evening. Capital FC coached by Joe Wentworth. Want to take a moment here to definitely let everybody know about what's going on in the future here. If you're interested in seeing USL League 2 national champions defend their crown in person this summer, we've got a couple more games left. Season's almost over, but single match tickets are definitely still available now for $15. Next game here at Memorial Stadium will be on July 6th, next Saturday. It'll be an evening match. Kids 5 and under get in free. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit goballardfc.com/tickets. And if you want to show your Ballard FC pride here in Pride Month and rep the 2023 USL League 2 National Champions in style this season, official Ballard FC merch is everywhere, up the bridges wherever you go this summer, with a jersey, shirt, hat, scarf, or jacket. I have most of them myself. Check out the club's newest jerseys, Fire and Smoke Away jerseys, goalkeeper kit, which is the one that I currently own, my newest addition to the collection, and celebrate local artists such as the new Stevie Shao kit and scarf. You can find these at the tents here at Memorial Stadium or online at goballardfc.com/shop. Youth camps, everybody should be very aware of these, as we've mentioned these a couple times, but we're approaching the times when we'll actually be doing these. 2024 camps are available for registration still. Ballard FC camps are available for players age 5 through 13 of all skill types, focused on fun and skill development. The camps are directed by Ballard FC coaches with an experienced staff of local coaches. Ballard FC players will be present to interact with campers every single day. Week 1 takes place July 8th through 12th at Loyal Heights Playfield. For more info on these camps and times and locations, visit goballardfc.com/camps. Ballard FC Foundation is one of the key components to this community and what Ballard FC stands for. It's the social impact arm of Ballard FC, and it's currently focused on free soccer camps and clinics, as we just mentioned, to support access to the beautiful game. What you see on your screen here right now is the ability and the access to donate. These funds will be used for all of these purposes that we've previously mentioned. Use the QR code on the screen or visit www.ballardfcfoundation.org. Taking a moment as well to thank some of our sponsors. They're what makes this possible and brings the broadcast live to you today. First is Albert Lee. We want to thank for bringing these Ballard FC matches live from Memorial Stadium here, free to you on YouTube. Over 90 brands of kitchen, laundry, outdoor appliances for your home, and friendly, knowledgeable staff to make sure you get exactly what you need. Albert Lee is committed to making your appliance buying experience the best it can be for over 85 years. Thank you, Albert Lee, for being one of the official appliance experts in the Pacific Northwest, as well as a proud sponsor of Ballard FC. Finally, like to thank Dick's. We appreciate everything they're doing, and you'll see some Ballard goals tonight and Dick's burgers thrown into the crowd.
There's nothing quite like an Albert Lee appliance showroom. We're part of the community, and we carry over 90 brands and 11 exclusive brands you'll only find at Albert Lee.
We're the most beautiful showrooms in the area. We've got the best salespeople, and yet we're still one of the best price points in the industry.
We are a family. We take care of each other like family, and we take care of the customers like family.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades.
Pierre, who is Burko's favorite athlete?
Oh,
In any sport.
the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo. Undisputed by country mile.
What is Cameron's order at Dick's?
All right. 2 times cheeseburger, 1 fry, a vanilla shake, and extra ketchup.
You're actually really close. I do plain cheeseburgers because I don't like mustard.
Wait, that's actually
You're
close.
really close.
No, I remember because you said ketchup's the best condiment in the world.
Burko, what is Pierre's favorite music?
I don't even know it either.
Techno beat. I know. Yeah, you want that like.
Cameron, what is Cruz's favorite season?
Oof. Unlucky. I said fall because that's when we play our footy.
Pierre, what is Burko's favorite TV show?
Oh.
He just plays computer games. The Office.
No, come on. I love The Office. I watched it like 7-8 times.
Cameron, what is Cruz's post-game meal?
Yo!
Hey.
I knew it. I knew it.
I think my favorite pasta would be a little fettuccine.
What is Burko's pre-game meal?
Oh, I actually know this straight off the bat.
What you got?
Peanut butter with banana.
Hey, you got it.
You got it.
Nice.
Should I be writing more?
Potentially.
Welcome back, everybody. Apologies for the delays. Slight technical difficulties. But we're live now. Thankfully, you haven't missed too much. We're about 8 minutes in. Currently, slight off of the face field, which is good to see. To that in a moment as Akwazaku wins possession for his team. Trying to find Hollinstead, who ushers it all the way out for a Ballard throw. Ballard lining up in a familiar 4-3-3 formation. Jackson Buck gets the start and goal. Back four with Ketchum at left back, Eggman, Leo Burney, familiar partnership in the center positions. Reese Gordy makes his way into the right side of the pitch. Midfield trio, Cameron Urondo, the SPU holding midfielder, maintains a sixth position with Cameron Cruz and Rafi Otero looking to provide a little bit of vertical attacking threat. The front three made up of Joe Dale, Elliot Spatz, and Charlie Holmes. As we see Joe Dale on the ball currently. This is a Ballard side that we've seen rotate players quite a bit through the season, but again, the conversations with James Riley, all of these players are more than capable of being in a starting 11. And any opportunity, no matter the opponent, is very much the one should be taken. As Charlie Holmes makes his way inside, finds Otero, who's definitely got a rocket on him. Doesn't find the target this attempt, but look out for those type of efforts throughout the match from Rafi Otero. Long ball makes its way all the way through. Eggman doing the defensive duties. Manganya winning the throw-in for his side. Cisco and I shared quite a bit of time at Ballard FC a couple years back. He ended up making his way down south to Salem. Just recently graduated from Sacramento State. Congratulations to him, but definitely a player to watch as this long throw looks to make its way into the box for Ballard FC. Jackson Buck on his toes. Hits the near post, but away by Holmes. Ball fired back into Manganya, who does win the header, but Christian Eggman wins the second. Joe Dale with the third. Resulting in a foul by Akwazaku. Quickly taken. Rafi Otero with the long switch of play. Great vision, finding Charlie Holmes. Cameron Cruz finding a pocket of space in behind. Holmes elects to maintain himself and goes for goal. Spilled by goalkeeper Vaughn. Cheap corner kick given away, and Ballard will let the big boys advance forward. Those are the type of opportunities as a goalkeeper that you're going to need to hold on to. Sloppy work, but Ballard doesn't care. Otero with this in-swinging service. Eggman on the far post. Spilled once more by Vaughn, but done enough by his defense. Cameron Cruz heads the ball back into play. Eventually away. Only as far as partnership of Ketchum Urondo. Gordy to Holmes. Holmes with an errant ball inward to Otero. Combined well through Cisco. Finds its way to the far side. Simple save in the end for Jackson Buck, but there's the danger that lies for Capital FC as Akwazaku found himself in a little bit of space, but couldn't get any purchase on the shot. Ballard need to be sure in possession as they look to play through the lines. And again, that's what a 4-4-2 really will look to provide on the counter. But Ballard FC trusts their system. They trust their ability. They'll look to continue playing through the lines. Urondo. Bernie into Otero. Forced to go backwards just for a moment by Erickson, but makes his way past. Joe Dale picks up. The bulldoze of Joe Dale eventually winning a free kick for his side. Not the largest man, but I'll tell you, Joe Dale, when he gets ahead of steam, he's a bull in a china shop. That man will run through anything. Eggman. Holmes sizing up his defender inside to Urondo. Flipped ball, finds its way all the way back, but the referee doesn't like something he saw. Free kick for Capital. Strong header one in the center of the park by Urondo. Joe Dale picks up and does enough to maintain possession all the way back to Jackson Buck. Gordy inside to Joe Dale with plenty of space, surveys his options, elects to go for long looping ball, but Obilo does enough just to find Ketchum in the end. Holmes picks up, dances his way in on the corner flag. Driving inside, releases to Gordy. Waits for Joe Dale to get himself back on side and make a run, which he ends up doing, and wins his side another corner, second of the match. Lovely evening here in Memorial Stadium as we round out June and celebrate Pride Month. Ballard is warming up in their rainbow-colored training kits. Currently in their champagne home kits. I'm actually wearing the exact same color kit. Cameron Cruz with an in-swinging left-footed service right on top of the box. Cleared well by Obilo, but Urondo puts it back in the mix. Cameron Cruz unable to make anything of the opportunity, results in nothing but a goal kick. Rare opportunity to advance to the back line, but can't make the most of it through Akuazaku. Martinez once more. Melville long to Akuazaku. Does well to bring it under touch. Being harassed by Gordy, and eventually the partnership of the other outside back, Ketchum, does enough. Good spell of possession here, though, for Capital. Looks like in this 4-4-2 formation, those two wingers pushed up. It's almost a 4-2-4. This is how I played when I was losing 5-0 in FIFA and I just wanted anything out of the game. Ultimately, the sacrifice you're making is defensive frailties as we see Ballard make their way forward. Joe Dale isolated on the far side against Martinez. Drives in field. Again, a very willing, very strong, powerful runner. Holmes. Joe Dale once more. Clipped the ball in to Spatz. Challenging. Burville doing very well and strong, even though there may have been a shout from his goalkeeper, Vaughn. Probably smart to ignore as that ball was likely going through. Familiar set piece setup here with Otero, Holmes, and Cruz. Otero elects for the direct service right on top of the goalkeeper, but it's Breville once more. Heads away. Miscued clearance as well in the second. Eggman finding himself in an unfamiliar position of right wing. He'll tell you he can do it just fine, but I think we all know he's a center back. Christian, if you heard that, I'm sorry, my friend. You'd be a very good forward as well. A little bit of kickball in the corner. Martinez away for just a throw in. Wayward pass on the near side by Ketchum to Holmes. Capital will definitely look to get morale boosts every time they can, as this is a heavy underdog match from their point of view. Ballard with some high expectations, and 25 minutes played, haven't really had a clear-cut opportunity to test goalkeeper Jesse Vaughn. Other than the one simple save, which made a little bit of a mess of it. Urondo picks up Otero on the top of the box, looking for a shot, but dumps wide to Gordy. Chops back in on his left foot. In-swinging service. Spats makes contact, but flashes just wide on the left-sided post. Have to be said, if that's on target, Jesse Vaughn's going to have some problems. Once more electing to skip the forwards press of Ballard FC and more Route 1 soccer. Clever flick on by Akwazaku, and it's Eriksson who picks up the ball. Turns back, and it was a fantastic opportunity that seemed to be wasted. Maybe if Eriksson was a little bit more on his toes and anticipating. Has to be said, a difficult flick, but nonetheless, Akwazaku can't quite bring the second opportunity under control. Cameron Cruz and Spats connecting a couple times. Otero with a little bit of calmness and composure. Eventually settled by Urondo. Cruz. Dale back to Cruz, and another corner kick for Ballard. Starting to open up a little bit more. We've seen throughout the season a couple teams able to expose the long ball in behind Ballard, but it really does take a very fast, quick, technical player. As we saw Eriksson in that position, but didn't have the legs to really drive at the back line 20, 30 yards further. Jackson Buck never really threatened. Cruz with the ball in just over the head of Joe Dale, and fantastic defensive efforts once more by Akwazaku in partnership. Christian Eggman was lurking on the far post, and it's the last place an opposing team wants to see Christian, as he's known to put away a goal or two. Long throw being set up here, crowded 6-yard box. Charlie Holmes the nearest, Leo Burney just behind him. Leo Burney is the target, and it spats on the far post, and somehow it doesn't make its way into the net. Eventually cleared by Eriksson. Flashpoint for Ballard FC. Service to the back post, and it's Christian Eggman who ends up putting it away to his fellow compatriot center back Leo Burney. Oh, you love to see it. Center back to center back. What a dream pairing. Life comes to Memorial Stadium, and it is given by the center back combination Leo Burney winning the initial header. Christian Eggman, he's not going to miss from that far out. 1-0. And if you're hungry, eyes to the sky, Dick's Burgers are being tossed in the crowd. It's become tradition at this point. Fantastically worked goal from Ballard, and the pressure was building, it has to be said. And on the other side of the field, Leo Burney doing the defensive duties and making his presence known. Spots alone by himself, but willing to drive at the back line. Holmes driving inside. Urondo, Maestro sitting inside. Odero drops one defender, left-footed. Can't find the top corner, but he was searching for it. Davies was sold on that initial right-footed shot fake by Rafi Otero. The left foot let him down just a little bit. Likely want that one back. Reese Cordy doing very well to get over Andrew Erickson. Hard challenge, and referee visually shows a deflection. Throw in for Martinez. Wazalku doing well to help it on its way, but Cisco Mangana can't quite connect. Merville been very strong in the air so far this match, except for the goal, has to be said. Rondo. Light pressure from Akwazaku, but Eggman doesn't make the most of it. Lazy outside of the foot pass. Another Route 1 ball all the way over the top, but combination of Eggman and Urondo doing very well to put out the fire, and ends up in so much space. Searching ball, ends up finding Holmes. Otero picks up the seconds. Clever shift of the feet. Referee waves away any sort of challenges. Very wide open game. Akwazaku picks up. Trying to find a late run of Davies, but almost seems like tired legs. To be say a Sunday game after a Friday match and travel. Likely a factor for both teams today. Ballard didn't have to travel as far, coming off of 2-1 victory against Mid Lakes just across the pond. Holmes driving infield once more. Gets a toe to it, maintains possession through Otero. Ketchum had overlapped, but finally receives. Cisco Mangana doing well. Receives no foul. Fair challenge, says center referee. Holmes. Deflected service comes all the way through to Vaughn. Has to be said, it's an odd match. It's quiet from both teams. It's quiet from the crowd. Sunday sleepies coming into play. Both teams will look to inject a little bit of action. I'd say the Ballard FC faithful are spoiled over the past couple seasons. High-flying matches, lots of goals, lots of excitement, and fantastic goals at that. Joe Dale in pursuit. Gets a toe on it, but goal kick in the end. .33 minutes played. It's 1-0. Fantastically worked goal by Ballard. Pressure definitely was building, and no surprise. Not too much else to speak of. It's been a little bit of a back and forth cat and mouse type game. Fairly direct from both sides. Ballard definitely willing to play as they usually do, but Capital opting for a more direct route. Kozauku doing well on the far side, isolated against Urondo. A couple step overs makes his way inside, but Gordy and Bernie doing well to clean up. Cameron Cruz casually making his way forward, waiting for reinforcements. And he finds it in the form of Isaac Ketchum, left-footed. Great delivery, flashes all the way across the 6-yard box. Fortunate to not be able to connect with Spatz or Joe Dale. More of those deliveries, and you have to expect those will end up in the back of the net at some point. Personally, I'm surprised Capital aren't even willing to try to play through the back line. Ballard does not seem as willing to press as they have been in the recent weeks. And with the likes of Eggman willing to rise to the occasion, Urondo, Leo Bernie, and co. This has been the end result for most of these long balls. And a lack of possession will usually lead to a lack of goals on the score sheet. As Cameron Cruz makes his way forward through Holmes. Great ball. Cameron Cruz flashes once more across the face. From a tactical point of view, anytime a team neglects their midfield and skips lines, it creates gaps and it opens up so much space for the opposing team. And anytime you're able to bring the ball down, have a little bit of composure and play through the lines, as we've seen Ballard so willing to do, every single opportunity will result in multiple Ballard FC players with their facing towards the opposition goal and defenders running back into their own net. You play that ball across the top of the box, it's going to result in a goal, I'd say 5 out of 10 times. Some of those might be own goals. Christian Eggman getting himself in a little bit of a mix and thankful to get out of it, but danger's not averted here quite yet as Hollestad was on the end of it, but Ketchum, enough pace to put the fire out, but Christian Eggman, make sure that you're not getting too complacent. Long direct ball over the top, skipping everybody. Well defended in the end by Obilo. Ketchum with strong defense, pushing Hollestad backwards, but picked up by Urondo. Here's Otero once more driving the back line. Joe Dale. Oh, fantastic movement. Spatz looking for Otero. Vaughn, credit where credit is due, got himself off the line very quickly and put an end to it, but a free-flowing movement. Unlucky to result in anything but a goal. Kozauku doing well. Burville. Obilo. Brunk. All the way back to their goalkeeper, Vaughn. Back to Brunk. Eventually root one. Ball all the way through to nobody. it's easy to criticize from the booth up here, but on the field, when you have players so willing to press in the midfield, Cameron Cruz, Rafi Odero, Cameron Urando, and everybody else that makes up this Ballard team, it's so difficult. And especially when you're on the level surface, seeing the lines in front of you, you may have an open pass, but the smart soccer players will see that pass, but also understand that they have nowhere to go with it. So even though you're playing in defeat, they're immediately going to be pressed by 2 or 3 players. And from a danger perspective, you'd almost be better to skip the lines. But there's sacrifices made on both sides of it. And that is the cat and mouse game. That is soccer, football, fuchiball, whatever you call it. It's a beautiful game. Joe Dale driving, getting his service off, but harmlessly into Vaughn's hands. Burville. Brunk. Back to Burville. Eventually Cameron Cruz decides, enough of this passing, I'm going to press. Andrew Erickson, the recipient. Eventually cleaned up through Urando and Joe Dale. Quality, quick combination play. Otero, time and space, finds Joe Dale on the far side. Holmes waiting in the center, but not Joe Dale's best service. Capital elects to play short this time, and Ballard looks like they'll let them until Spats pressing on his own, and doing fantastic to block the clearance and immediately regains possession for his side. Gordy. Joe Dale tiptoeing the line of offside, but ball did make its way out of bounds before curling back in. We'll restart with a goal kick. Sun breaking its way through the clouds. Jesse Vaughn looks like the one having to deal with it the most, and I know how that is as a goalkeeper, but looks like a head injury in the center of the park here. Gonna need to take another pause. This time, Storm Hollistead. Approaching 45 minutes in the first half. Scoreline remains 1-0. The lone effort from the combination of Leo Burney and Christian Eggman getting Ballard on the score sheet about halfway through the first 45. Other than that, it's been a pretty quiet match. Joe Dale doing well to win the initial header. Elliot Spats on the end of it, driving into the box, faced by Burville. Joe Dale with a sly pass into Gordy, but can't maintain possession, but settles for a corner. It's difficult at this point in the season from a Capital FC point of view. This is very much not to point fingers in any capacity. Respect to every team in this league. It's a difficult league, but bottom of the table, high goals against. Facing a team like Ballard, it's a tough task away from home, but credit to these players. They're tigerish in their defending where they need to be. They've posed a couple problems for Ballard's back line so far, but currently under fire here. Charlie Holmes. Ketchum driving the ball inwards. Spats looking to get on the end of it. Breville with the clearance. Otero with the Travella. My word. We almost had a very special goal if it weren't for James doing his defensive duties on his goal line. A little bit of miscommunication. Once more, Jesse Vaughn coming out, but Breville decided to take matters into his own hands and probably needed to in that instance. Cheeky effort by Rafi Otero. A little bit more pace and that might have found its way in. Make his way over to serve this corner kick. Crowded box. Goalkeeper Vaughn ended up getting a touch onto it. Another corner kick. Very good save in the end. It was Christian Eggman on the far post causing problems as he does best. Hugo, get back! Once more, Rafi Otero will look to take. Joe Dale standing on top of goalkeeper Jesse Vaughn. Away by Obilo, Cameron Orondo winning the seconds. Harmlessly away for another Ballard throw. And Ballard would love to get a second goal before the halftime whistle blows, as a 1-0 scoreline is great from the perspective of you have 3 points, but not so great from the perspective of we know how quickly these matches can change. Especially with a player like Cisco Manana on the other team. Bullet of a throw-in from Christian Eggman. Otero doing well to clean up. Catch him by himself at the back. Safety first. A very calm in possession. Gordy to Joe Dale. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Finished through the first 60 seconds. Ballard picking up the tempo again, clearly with the intention of not happy with the 1-0 scoreline, or should they be, in my opinion. Capital looking slightly resigned to the scoreline at the moment. They haven't really had a clear-cut chance. Just the one save for Jackson Buck. Great ping clearance from Christian Eggman. Elliot Spats doing very well to collect, and possession maintained on the far side through Reese Gordy. Infield combining once more with Spats. Gordy on his left foot. Can't get the purchase or the connection. Harmlessly into Vaughn's arms. Missed clearance on the side volley. Couldn't quite get clean connection. Joe Dale skips through a challenge. Finds Cameron Cruz quite well. Cameron Cruz onto his left foot. In the end, blocked well by Jacob James. Cisco doing his best to do the defensive duties. Goes for the spectacular. But a free kick was given in the center of the park before the play developed. Catch him. Holmes, Otero through the center. And the halftime whistle is blown. It was a quiet first half. Ballard will be happy with the fact that all things said and done now, they'd be walking away with 3 points, but I'd say from a history perspective, last game out, finished 8-1 with an emphatic Ballard victory. Plenty of time left, but as it ends, 45 minutes, Capital FC 0, Ballard FC 1.
There's nothing quite like an Albert Lee appliance showroom. We're part of the community, and we carry over 90 brands and 11 exclusive brands you'll only find at Albert Lee.
We're the most beautiful showrooms in the area. We've got the best salespeople, and yet we're still one of the best price points in the industry.
We are a family. We take care of each other like family, and we take care of the customers like family.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades.
Pierre, who is Burko's favorite athlete?
Oh,
In any sport.
the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo. Undisputed by a country mile.
What is Cameron's order at Dick's?
All right. 2 times cheeseburger, 1 fry, a vanilla shake, and extra ketchup.
You're actually really close. I do plain cheeseburgers because I don't like mustard.
Wait, that's actually
You're
close.
really close.
No, I remember because you said ketchup's the best condiment in the world.
Burko, what is Pierre's favorite music?
I don't even know it either.
Techno beat. I know.
Yeah,
You are like.
Cameron, what is Cruz's favorite season?
Oof. Unlucky. I said fall because that's when we play our footy.
Pierre, what is Burko's favorite TV show?
Oh.
He just plays computer games, The Office.
No, come on. I love The Office. I watched it like 7-8 times.
Cameron, what is Cruz's post-game meal?
Yo!
Hey.
I knew it. I knew it.
I think my favorite pasta would be a little fettuccine.
What is Burko's pre-game meal?
Oh, I actually know this straight off the bat.
What you got?
Peanut butter with banana.
Hey, you got it.
You got it.
Nice.
Should I be writing more?
Potentially.
On the far side of the field.
Albert Lee has a huge appliance selection.
The knowledge that we bring on behalf of the sales staff, you're going to get the right answer and an honest answer from the beginning.
We can provide them with any price point, and they get the same great customer service no matter what it is that they're looking for.
And with Albert Lee, we have basically every brand available, and we're not just trying to sell a product, we're selling what meets your needs.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades. Shop online or in-store at one of our 6 locations.
Art is a celebration of our world and a crucial way to capture the stories and images around us. When we make art and when we appreciate art, we express what is valuable to us and make the world a more vibrant place. Art in the community allows a neighborhood to create a shared identity, establish a sense of place, and extend belonging. I'm Stevie Shao, and this is the Stevie Shao Kit with Ballard FC.
We've been here since 1939. Who can say that? We're the oldest appliance company in the state of Washington. We do a better job than anybody out there, and we just have to go out and prove it every day.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. 2 minutes left on the clock before we will see the 11s come out for the second 45. It's been a underwhelming first half, I have to say, as we'll go through the highlight reel. There's not a whole lot to it. We had one goal that ended up putting Ballard FC on top, but it was a fantastically taken goal. The combination of the two center backs, Leo Burney and Christian Eggman, with a diving header, buries it just inside the 6-yard box. Other than that, not a whole lot to speak on. Ballard have been their possession-based, attacking threat, dominant selves, but haven't had a whole lot of end product to show for it. On the other side of the field, Capital FC have been very Route 1, very direct with their play. Been a couple, I'd say, scare moments, nothing more than that. Jackson Buck hasn't been involved too much in the Ballard FC net. Ballard FC making their way back to the field now. Capital FC very much still in this game, though. Let's not write it off too soon, as a 1-0 scoreline is always very dangerous. Head coach James Riley will know this as a fact, and I'd be positive to say that he would instill this on his players and say, look, we need 3, we need 4, we need 5 to then be able to let our foot off the gas. We're not there yet, and plenty of firepower on the bench, the like of Peter Kingston, Austin Brummett, Kai Briscoe. So many names that could cause problems. Likely to see some subs rotating in 15 to 20 minutes into this half. But ultimately, so far, so good for the defending national champions. A repeat performance of the first half will lead to 3 points, and that's all the reason that they're here for. Coming off of a 2-1 victory last Friday against Mid-Lakes United. Ended up being a closer game than many people believed it maybe should have been. But a crosstown rival will always put on a show, and it was actually Bailey Leatherman, forward Ballard FC player, that made the potential scare, scoring the lone goal for Mid-Lakes during that match. But 2 very well taken goals by Richie Amon and Charlie Gaffney put the game away and had Ballard feeling good, walking away with all 3 points. With only a couple games remaining left in the season, I believe we have 3 matches after today, 2 home matches, 1 away. It really is coming down to the business end of the season. Ballard are in the driver's seat, but still work to be done. Capital may be accepting their fate as they sit currently 8th in the league, bottom of the table. It's a tough position to be in at this point in the season. Obviously no relegation worries to be had, like many of us that follow foreign leagues quite closely throughout Europe. But there is a matter of pride to be had, and knowing some of these Capital players, they'll want to win this match, and it's there for the taking. Again, at a 1-0 deficit, they're still in the locker room, likely talking through tactics. And I'd be interested to see what tactic shifts are being made, as they didn't pose too much of a problem for the Ballard FC back line. Again, very Route 1, very rudimentary. Not too many problems for back line and co to handle. But one moment of lapsed concentration, one piece of skill, one bit of quality, and this can become a nail-biter very quickly. Ballard will look to do everything they can to make it anything but that. But there's work to be done. 45 minutes left in this match. We're going to get started here shortly as Capital FC make their way back onto the pitch. Do my best in the second half to keep everybody up to date with subs, position changes, tactical changes, and everything in between. I'm going to go radio silence for the next 30 seconds or so. Enjoy the atmosphere. No changes made by either side. Original starting 11s making their way back onto the pitch. As the summer heats up, Ballard's heating up as well. Second half begins, kicked off by Cameron Urondo. Christian Eggman, Route 1. 45 minutes for all 3 points, and we've begun. Ballard immediately taking possession, cycling it through the back line. Eggman to Bernie. Right back, Reese Gordy pushing way up, forcing Erickson to honor his defensive responsibilities. Joe Dale under pressure. Class effort to maintain possession, but Eggman looks for no nonsense. Erickson, Francisco Mangana can't keep it under pressure. Martinez with a little pullback on Spats, but Spats hold on to possession. Wins the throw in for his side. Rafi Otero has been very lively through the first half. A couple shots from distance. Definitely one to watch out for as he'll be looking to get himself into some dangerous positions once more. Can definitely tell early in this match that Capital's much more willing to press, which I think is a good decision from a neutral's point of view, as well as a tactical point of view. If they're able to pull off a successful press and pick the ball up in an opportune space, very well composed problems for the back line of Ballard. But that being said, many skillful players willing to be on the ball and play through pressure. Cat and mouse game continues. Gordy with a clever flick ball to Cruz. Cruz finding Spats, can't make its way all the way through, ends up being defended very well. Erickson looking to play out, but Joe Dale with his defensive responsibilities, early clip ball, but Vaughn getting his hands on for the first time in this half. Long service. Christian Eggman doing well, but Cisco with a very aware flick on. James turns back, finds Martinez. Clever ball roll infield. Skips the midfield, finds his opposing right back, Obilo. First spell of possession for Capital in the half. Erickson. Fantastic outside of the boot. Ball to Martinez, gets himself to the end line, but disappointing cross, missing everybody. Finding Charlie Holmes instead. Service top of the box. Away by Gordy. This is, again, a good spell and a very needed period of possession early in the half for a Capital point of view. Loose. Back pass by Leo Burney, trusting in his goalkeeper and Christian Eggman quite a bit, and ends up getting the job done. Akwazaku will be very aware of those efforts throughout the rest of this half. More and more this half presses on. My anticipation is the less likely it will be to see a high press from Capital. They need to pick their moments. Rondo lets the ball run. Joe Dale picks up with a head of steam. Much to the dismay of near side Reese Gordy, Joe Dale likes to keep the ball on the far side of the pitch. Great little clipped ball in by Ketchum, finding Urondo. in an advanced position. Center back partnership of Burville and Brunk doing enough to get it away, but on the other side of the pitch, Leo Burney in a tussle with Akwazaku ends up coming the better off of the two, but Reese Gordy, defensive duties, and immediately Ballard on the offensive through Otero. Bombing run of Ketchum underlaps Holmes. Such a good balance with this Ballard team as one outside back makes their way forward, the other one identifying the space and sitting inside is more of an inverted role, as we saw Reese Gordy sit a little deeper. That's good tactical awareness, definitely coached in by head coach James Riley. Eggman strong in the ball, bounding forward. Unlucky not to win the throw. Has to do the trot back to his position. Joe Dale with a quality interception, chased down by Erickson. Early service into Gordy, left-footed. Quality effort blocked in the end. Martinez rising well. Finds its way to Captain Magana. A little bit of a slight miscommunication between Bernie and Eggman, but job done in the end. No nonsense clearance up to the booth area by Hugo Burville. It's a good block in the end by Hudson Brunk. That was definitely goal bound from the advanced right back, Reese Gordy. Joe Dale on the turn. Throw in, not a corner. As we see some of the Ballard subs beginning to warm up, the Ballard faithful giving them a round of applause as they anticipate some changes being made here fairly soon. Catch him dispossessed by Jacob James, unable to bring the ball down on a bouncy field. Cameron Cruz with a searching ball. Martinez doing just enough to push it away, corner kick. Seeing some activity on the Capital FC bench as well. I'll likely be busy here in the coming moments, keeping all the subs current. Cameron Cruz standing over the in-swinging service. All the way into the box, and Spats on the end of it for a second attempt, and it's in. 2-0. Elliot Spats gets his name onto the score sheet, as all the Ballard FC strikers have done so far with their opportunities. If at first you don't succeed, try again, and Dick's Burgers are in the crowd. Joe Dale's got an arm on him. Oh, and what a catch! One-handed, top of the bleachers, picked out Tom Brady style. You love to see it. And that's exactly how Ballard FC wanted to start this half, and it all came from another corner kick attempt. Elliot Spats firing header initially, good save straight into Vaughn's hands, but falls kindly back to Elliot Spats and makes no mistake the second time, buries it, 2-0. I'd love to see if there's a replay of Joe Dale absolutely throwing a laser of a cheeseburger up into the crowd. Definitely picking out someone, likely a family member. But the grab is a one-handed grab. That's just some good, clean fun right there. Spats with a burst of energy, getting in front of Burville, driving to the end line, cuts it back to Cameron Cruz. Can't connect, and Ballard FC are cooking now. Wide open net, but just can't get the purchase. And it all came from some fantastic effort from number 17, Elliot Spats, just coming off of a great goal. Great turn of play, the center of the park. Akawazoku. First yellow card of the match being shown. Break up and play. Surprised it took so long, but it has been a rather tame match. Maybe the widening of the score sheet will lead to some more fireworks, as I think all the Ballard FC faithful will want to see. Casual tosses. I still want to find the Joe Dale toss. I'm going to keep requesting it until I see it. Elliot Spats picks up. Cameron Cruz brings it to touch. Outside runner. Rescored to Ian Joe Dale. Joe Dale the recipient this time. Strong challenge by Martinez. Joe Dale returns the effort. Comes off second best in that span of play. Aerial challenge, well won by Eggman. Erickson picks up the loose pieces. Bernie with some no-nonsense defending. Strong collision in the center of the park. We might need to have another pause and play. And a couple head injuries so far this game. It's definitely not what you want to see. This time it's Hudson Brunk, I believe. Or forgive me, it's Obilo. Center of the park, receiving some treatment. Good to see Obilo back to his feet. And the last meeting between these two sides earlier in June resulted in an 8-1 victory for Ballard FC. So far, not quite on pace. But as we know, Ballard FC can ramp things up pretty quickly when they want to. Well, it may not be 4th of July yet. The fireworks show is primed to begin here at Memorial Stadium. 2-0 on the clock, 58 minutes played. Jacob James keeping that ball in play. Erickson asking for a handball, but be hard to give for a referee very close to the body. Martinez on the replay gets picked by Joe Dale. Joe Dale's got plenty of pace to burn away, and he does so. But a strong challenge, center of the park by Obilo, doing very well for his team. If Martinez can pick up, Akawazoku on the far side is in space. He can't quite do so, but James picks up instead. It's Erickson squaring up to Orondo, gets his way past. Goal kick. Taro calm in possession, finding Gordy on the near side. ever-willing runner, Elliott Spatz. Absolutely harassed by the center back, Burville, but within the letter of the law. Ketchum. Otero. Urando caught in possession by the former Ballard FC player. And it's Akwazoku, and all of a sudden it's 2-1. Jackson Buck can't quite make the save, and it's a lapse in concentration in the center of the park. And we talked about this just before halftime started. There's a deadened silence here in Memorial Stadium as absolutely nobody saw that coming. Jackson Buck with really the first involvement of the game since his early save. But as we talked about, this 4-4-2 formation, that's exactly what it's meant to do. Win the ball in an opportune part of the pitch. And Cisco Magana doing very well. Applying the pressure, came in Urando and just slides through Umechi Akwazoku and does enough to squeeze it past Jackson Buck. 2-1, we've got a match. Looks like some Ballard FC subs are being readied. James Riley might not be happy with the concession of the goal. Ballard were looking so strong, but a little bit lazy in the center of the park with the ball. And that's what a quality player like Cisco can do to you. Just laying it on a plate for Akwazoku. A little bit pep in the step in the Reds. Ballard FC will need to regain control. Gordy. Catch him. Long ball over the top, looking for Holmes. Does receive and collect. Doing very well. Maintain the possession all the way back to Ketchum, though. Eggman. Buck. Pursued by Francisco Magana. Urando doing enough to receive the foul, and we're going to have some substitutions make their way to the pitch here. Looks like it's Joe Dale, Isaac Ketchum, Cameron Urando making their way off. Sean Sent will like-for-like swap in the center of the park. Peter Kingston, and Luke Hammond. Charlie Holmes also making his way to the right side of the pitch, allowing Cameron Cruz to fill in the left side position, and Peter Kingston will fall into his familiar center of the park role. Martinez in a very precarious position, but does enough to win the free kick. Martinez, once more, slips on the ball. No foul play done by Charlie Holmes, and asking for a free kick as it definitely touched the hand, but the referee elected to let the play continue. Akwazoku harassed as he was holding up play and wins the free kick for his side, the other direction. This will be a testy 25 minutes or so. Definitely a position that Ballard did not want to be in. I'm sure everybody's waiting for me to say the typical catchphrase, 2-0, dangerous lead in soccer. But it comes true time and time again. Complacency is dangerous. Capital with some energy, and they feel like they have something in this match. Service in by Hollinstead. Away by Eggman, picked up by Obilo. Far side center back Burville. Obilo gets his service off. Peter Kingston with defensive duties. Andrew Erickson finds the captain. Breaking away is Peter Kingston with miles of space in front of him. If he's able to find Elliott Spatz, which he is, 1v1 with Martinez, makes his way onto his left foot, leans into Martinez, but great defensive effort in the end. Spatz throws his hand in frustration. Looking at the replays, likely should have got a shot off sooner, and gets a yellow card maybe for some dissent in the end. Silly yellow card to receive as the Ballard subs continue their slightly vigorous warm-ups, I'd call it. But once more, Peter Kingston doing great to break, and just at that moment, Spatz elects to lean into Martinez. Probably should have got a shot off as the space got closed rather quickly. Chance goes begging. Away by Eggman into nothing but space. I think we had a sub amongst some of the chaos. It's Jacob Avila on the ball now, launching it long. Martinez was the one to make way, so like for like swap. Spatz with a good turn of possession. Peter Kingston somehow maintaining possession. Sizing up Brunk. In the end, Obilo, fantastic work on the defensive side of things and wins the free kick for his side, much to the dismay of the Ballard FC fans. We haven't heard too much of this evening, which is rare. Eggman once more. Ignacio Rulen also made their way onto the park. I believe replacing the long-legged 35 Jacob James. Another like-for-like swap. Watch out. This is a spectator sport, but this ain't hockey. There's no glass up. Everybody stay active. Sean Sen bullied off the ball by Cisco Manganya. Picked up by Akuzoku. Looking to find Andrew Erickson on the far side. Can't quite do so. Cisco once more picks up again, finding the substitute, Avila. Sean Sent intercepts all the way back to Berville. Finally, a little bit of calm possession as Peter Kingston picks up by a fantastic layoff. Finding all the way through to Cameron Cruz on his favorite left foot, hits the post! So unlucky, Cameron Cruz. Jesse Vaughn was beat for days, but the post stayed resilient. And we sit. This teetered scoreline of 2-1. Cameron Cruz once more picks up. Picks out Spatz, but recycled Otero through Gordy, back to Otero. Holmes to the bylines, Reese Gordy, can he keep it in play? He cannot, unfortunately. The near side referee flag raised, goal kick. First time in this half that Capital elects to play short, but results in a direct long ball. Vila can't keep in play on the near side. Jackson Buck, first involvement with his feet this half. The other involvement, unfortunately from a Ballard perspective, led to a goal. If you're just joining us, very early mistake from the Ballard FC midfield, which led to a clear-cut opportunity through the combination of Francisco Mangana and Umechi Akwazauku, who ended up finishing his opportunity to get Capital on the board. And final substitutions being made here is Elliot Spatz with his goal contribution makes his way off for Austin Brummett, the poacher. Leo Bernie hands the armband to Kai Briscoe, fills in at right back. Interested to see where he'll line up with Reese Gordy, more traditional right back. You have to imagine Briscoe will stay a little bit more centrally. Here is Briscoe. Buck clipped service to Luke Hammond. Cameron Cruz was crunched on the far side, but play continues through Luke Hammond advancing. Charlie Holmes, one of the only options in the box, looking for the cutback of Brummett, but can't find. We'll have a pause in play as Cameron Cruz might need a little attention on the halfway line. See Cameron Cruz back to his feet. Brummett with some great skill. Luke Hammond can't quite keep the service down. For about 75 minutes now, Pride Parade at the Seattle Center has been blasting and bumping. And they're continuing their party as Ballard will look to start their party in about 15 minutes if this game remains 2-1. Capital, the visitors, looking to spoil the party and doing their best early in this half, contributing goal to the score sheet. A little bit of a loose pass from Cameron Cruz and forcing Christian Eggman into some defensive duties. Akwazauku strong in possession. Obilo combining with Hollinstead. Obilo elects for the long service, finding the substitute Jacob Avila. Erickson. Avila once more. Erickson doing very well to keep that ball into play. Kai Briscoe advances. Strong collision after the play. Referee continues, will likely revisit. Peter Kingston with a service in behind. Brummett on his lonesome. Squared up by Burville. Elects to go back to the serviceman Kingston. A little bit of pace being injected into this game. Slowed down once more. Sean Sent. Otero. Hammond. Back to Otero. Kai Briscoe. Eggman, furthest man back. Can't maintain the possession. And the referee will come back to the previous offense. We're seeing here just a late challenge on Kai Briscoe. Strong challenge. Well worth the yellow card. Good work to the referee.
Let go, we're fine, Keep moving away, move away. Get out, get out.
Capital will let some of the bigger bodies move forward as Breville launches. Clear handball, center of the park. Unfortunate from a Capital perspective, Ignacio Rulan. It's usually at this point in the match when a little bit of the dark arts are played, maybe the legs are felt, time management, game management. Wouldn't be surprised to see some more direct play as we're seeing Kai Briscoe drive forward to Brummett. Strong defending by Hugo Burville. Briscoe with the defensive efforts and once more wins a free kick for his side, but feeling a little bit of the afters from his efforts.
How is that on us? He didn't go straight up, he went over our guy. Our guy even does. He doesn't have to go. Player wins the ball. No, our guy stayed. He went over us. That ball's traveling that way. Physics. Physics. Read the physics on it.
Long ball in. Charlie Holmes, well defended by Avila. Pace of play just increasing after a couple verbal altercations a moment ago on that Kai Briscoe challenge. Hammond with the ball over the top, looking for Peter Kingston. Backs away from a challenge from Hudson Brunk. Akwazoku, what he's done all game, holding the ball so well in possession. Bouncing around in the center of the park. Erickson gets a foot to it, but comes to naught. Captain Francisco Mañana makes his way, handing the armband to Osvaldo Santana, who will replace him on the top of the field. Cisco contributing for the lone Capital goal for the evening. Hard-working player, getting his team onto the score sheet. Credit where credit is due. We knew he would be a player to watch from the get-go. He's passing the baton as Capital have about 11 minutes and some change to right the ship and potentially walk away with a point. Or more if the script decides to get a little crazy on us tonight. Ballard will do everything in their power to maintain the 3-point. Taro finding Hammond on the far side. Briscoe. Peter Kingston with the reverse pass, fantastically done by Gordy. Takes a hit for his efforts. Free kick bringing, as the play being brought back, Reese Gordy with such a fantastic flick on. But definitely took a hit on the way through and winning a free kick for his side. And now Ballard having a couple more tacticians to stand over this ball. Peter Kingston definitely one of them. Cameron Cruz, a left-footed option. Difficult position for Jesse Vaughn to organize. Opting for the one-man wall through Ignacio Rulin. As we see the strong challenge by Jacob Avila. Cameron Cruz to deliver, finding the near post and all the way through once more. Those are the types of services that can find their way to the back of the net with nobody making contact, but skips harmlessly wide in the end. Fortunate for Ballard, but very fortunate from a Capital point of view. Direct service once more. Kai Briscoe rising to meet. Substitute Santana immediately involved. Sprayed out wide by Rulin. Finding Obio. Rulin once more on the half turn. Gets his shot off. Fires past the far post. Might have been a little further wide than it looked from up here in the booth, but flashpoint is Capital reminding Ballard that it's still very much anybody's match. The advancing Ignacio Rulin found himself in a pocket of space and well within his right to go for goal in that instance. Brummett winning a header as we pan back to this game that's starting to become very open. Gordy to take the throw. Brummett comes deep to receive. No challenge being awarded. The center referee on Reese Gordy. Otero combining through Cameron Cruz. Glides through the ranks, but dispossessed. Very nicely done by Otero once again. He's been everywhere, both defensively and defensively for Ballard. Looks like he'll maintain his position through the 90. Center back Kai Briscoe advancing. Diving header, and Osvaldo Santana, the offender in this instance. Erickson pleading a case once more. Definitely a losing cause. Eggman skips the line, goes straight forward to Brummett, who does win the initial header. Kingston with the seconds. Cameron Cruz taking a hard shot. Excuse me. Clearance to the face, gets up very quickly, good to see. Charlie Holmes can't advance forward. Akwazauku doing well as he has, finding Santana on the near side. Sized up by two defenders. Kai Briscoe comes off the best. All the way back to Jackson Buckwool. Clear the ball straight down the center of the park. Fortunate to find Cameron Cruz, but loose touch by Cameron Cruz, resulting in a free kick opportunity for Capital. Reese Davies winning the opportunity for his side, and Storm Hollinstead will stand over this one. Right-footed in-swinging service. Ballard setting their line just inside the 18. As we talked about the other week when former Ballard FC goalkeeper Lars Hellern and I had a good long conversation about starting positions for goalkeepers with their wall. This is fairly shallow in my opinion. And it is one on the far post, and it's in. 2-2, drama, Memorial Stadium. As Capital FC, the underdogs for the day, taking the chance. I believe it was Hudson Brunk who rose on the far post and put it away, and that's exactly what happens if the defensive line is set too short and too shallow. The opposing players will very much be able to get on the end of a service and put it on frame. Jackson Buck slightly helpless in that instance as it was lofted over his head. 2-2. We've got a blockbuster of a finish here. Maybe not much left in the season from a Capital perspective, but very much high implications from a Ballard FC point of view. Capital would walk away with 1 point right now if they had the opportunity to do so. Ballard will hope for a bit of time on the clock as I think some of the dark arts have begun. Soon to enter the pitch, Kojo Dadzi. But first, some treatment. For the goal scorer, Hudson Brunk, who's, as we're seeing now, rose on the far post, and it was a deflection that made its way goal-bound past Jackson Burke. Unfortunate. But those are the type of opportunities that a team will take in a position as Capital is in. Ballard will hope to see a large number on the stoppage clock as Kojo Dadzi makes his way onto the pitch. Charlie Holmes makes his way off. Kirill Smirnov making his way to replace the goal scorer Hudson Brunk. No longer able to continue after that brief stoppage in play. Ballard have a mission on their hands. 87 minutes on the clock, approaching 88. 2-2. Strong header won by Christian Engman. First involvement by Kojo Dadzi. Scrum in the middle of the park as Austin Brummett picks up, but a strong challenge and play continues. Ignacio Rulin unable to keep the ball in play. Ballard FC throw. Christian Engman comes forward to launch one of his trademark long throws. A bullet that will likely make its way deep inside the 6-yard box. Cameron Cruz positioning himself right in front of Vaughn. Kojo misses the initial header, but the second is one, and the third is just over the top. From Cameron Cruz, unable to redirect on frame. Golden opportunity at the dying embers here. Difficult. That ball's looping over his head. Peter Kingston won the second, and Cameron Cruz is falling backwards. 2 more yards, and that's nestling its way beyond Jesse Vaughn. But as it remains 2-2, points are being shared. Cheeky back heel, Akwazauku. Away from Gordy. Brummett was waiting to pounce, but nothing came through to him. Osvaldo Santana getting a service off, missing the lone Umechi Akwazoku. Luke Hammond, fantastically one header by Austin Brummett. Cameron Cruz on his own, elects to chop inside on his right foot. Wins a corner But another chance goes begging. As Ballard don't have the time to continue missing these opportunities. But they have another, and a set piece specialist standing over it, the former Peter Kingston, who's no stranger to a big moment. In swinging service, directly on top of the keeper. Brummett finds its way to the top of the box. Sean Sent. And it's a goal kick. I can't believe my eyes. I need to see a replay. Austin Brummett is as dumbfounded as I am. As Sean Sent made his way onto the ball, struck cleanly, and from my view up here, it looked like a very clearly blocked shot from a Capital player, but we're playing a goal kick. Media team, if we can get a replay as soon as possible, it'd be fantastic. I'd love to see it myself. But we continue. Dadzi drops it back to Reese Gordy. No more time for cheeky possession at this point in the match. We've played our 90 and we have 4 minutes of stoppage. We're already 1 minute deep. Referee being very picky with the spot of the throw in. Taking off precious seconds on the clock. 2.5 minutes remain. Potential more time to be added if dramas continue. Sean Sent, fortunate not to see his shot rewarded with the corner, but that's how the match is sometimes. Christian Eggman with a long looping left-footed service. Finding Reese Gordy, first time header. Peter Kingston into the center of the box with a waiting Brummett. Defensive efforts. All hands on deck for Capital FC as Luke Hammond on the far post lobs in the throw in. Christian Eggman underneath it. Falls back to Hammond once more into the box. Brummett on the ground. Sean Sent receives and picks up. Turns around and tries to fire a service in, but can't quite get through a sea of bodies. It'll make its way all the way to Jackson Buck. First times it, fortunately to nobody, but out for a Ballard throw. About a minute left on the clock. Otero underneath this. Fantastic touch to maintain possession. Calm under pressure. Cameron Cruz back to Luke Hammond. No time to recycle. Need to push. Otero maintains himself on side but can't keep the ball in play. And Capital will look to drain time off the clock here. Very intentional. I hope the referee is minding his watch. As we finally see a replay here, and it is 1,000% a corner kick. Can't believe my eyes. Clearly comes off of Hugo Burville. Disappointing refereeing as it's clear as day, and Austin Brummett had a case. Terrell once more maintaining possession. Luke Hammond in advancement. Should be a throw-in, and it is. But we do need a ball to play with. Thank you to the Ballard FC Volunteers. We've had the 4 minutes of stoppage played, but the referee will look to continue. Strong challenge in the center of the park. Anywhere will do for Capital. Offside flag is raised against Capital FC. Maybe one more opportunity here as the bodies make their way forward. Jackson Buck will be the one to provide the service. Gets the spot kick correct, but everybody is inside of the opposing box. Can Ballard provide some late drama? Jackson Bucks takes the service. Long looping service. Austin Brummett wins the header. Falls to Cameron Cruz. And it's away. The referee has a whistle in his mouth. And it finishes 2-2. An upset at Memorial Stadium, simply from the perspective of Capital will go home feeling like they've won this match. And Ballard will be gutted. The final efforts, Brummett doing so well to win the header, and the shot was blocked by Cameron Cruz. But a flashpoint in the match will definitely go back to the missed corner kick provided by the center referee. Very clearly came off of Hugo Burville. Disappointing to see, and we never want to have the conversation focusing on referees, but it has to be said, it's clear as day, and that's a momentum killer. As Ballard FC, we're really ramping the heat. But in the end, it ends 2-2. Both teams will have to settle for a point, as Capital will make their long drive back to Salem. Ballard will look to reset and regroup, as their next match is a home match next week against Lane United. Drama here Sunday evening, Memorial Stadium, as the stands are cleared. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the match. Ballard will continue their pursuit of national glory once more, but it ends 2-2 here, Memorial Stadium. Cole Weaver signing off. Enjoy your evenings, folks.
after tonight's match. Obviously not the result we wanted, but had a lot of the ball, a couple goal line clearances from them. What was your overall thoughts on the performance?
Overall thoughts, honestly, again, similar to a lot of the games maybe we've dropped points on, we're creating plenty of chances. We're just giving up bad goals. And so especially as it gets tight late in the season and as we get, near the playoffs, which we still want to qualify for and win the division, we have to be able to win games 1-0, 2-0. Like, we can't give teams a sniff. That's what we've reiterated. So moving on into training, that's what we'll work on. We're going to work on the defensive side of the ball. We know we have enough firepower to score goals. Now we have to be able to win. Good teams have to be able to win games 1-0, 2-0. So that's what we'll work on. But the effort of the group was fantastic. The ball possession was great. The interchange was great. The chances we created were fantastic. We just have to put them away. I mean, we have to test the goalkeeper, make the goalkeeper make saves, things of that sort. So all fixable things, but certainly the guys are gutted. We're gutted. Certainly, points dropped at home.
You've scored 2 goals now. That's 2 games in a row. Usually you're scoring 3 or 4. Do we think it's just a case of unlucky finishing?
Twofold. I think we're creating the chances, so we'll also work on continuing to get our rhythm on finishing. But also, again, it's late in the season. You just have to be able to win games 1-0. Like, 1-0 should be enough at home to win a game. 2-0, without a doubt, should be enough to win games at home. We knew that the 3 things that we identified at halftime and the way they could score were 3. We said off the transition, off a set piece, and off our own error or turnover. The first goal was our error and turnover, and then the second goal to equalize was a set piece. So those are things that we knew going into the second half would give them life and hope, and it's just something that we have to get better with.
On the first goal, you had both captains combine. Leo headed it over to Christian. Is that something we'll look more for, the big center backs on set pieces? Yeah,
certainly they're the targets. I thought Reese put in a great ball. It's just the second phase of a corner kick. I thought Reese put on a great ball. Leo had a great, got on the end of it and put it back across the face of the goal, and Engman sacrificed his body, and the diving header, I thought it was fantastic. So a great goal. Elliot Spatz has been working hard, got his deserved start, and also got a goal. I thought he was busy and bright. Honestly, a lot of bright moments, and we'll look at the video and get back to the drawing board tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.